It's adventure time. Let's go wild. Before we talk about our main trips, we would like to let you know all about the fun things that you can do while you're at the foundation.
Yeah. So, first of all, evening activities, right? If you like some alone time, you can do a few things here. You can read some books. They actually have an on-site bookshelf. There's like books I think some volunteers left along the way, so you can find some interesting reads there. Or if you have a Kindle, obviously you can read whatever you want. But we found a really cool book here by Trevor Noah. It's called Born a Crime, and it's very fitting, right, Laurie?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good. We love Trevor Noah, so
Mm-hmm.
we didn't know that he had a book. And yeah, it's so cool because he's from South Africa, and when you're reading it, you can really relate to a lot of things he's saying because you're in South Africa experiencing what he's talking about. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting to hear his story and how he grew up here and stuff like that.
Yeah, read it.
Yeah. Second thing, obviously there's Wi-Fi. It sometimes cuts out, but it's okay. So we found this amazing e-learning course you can do called United for Wildlife Conservation course, and it's just gives you like an overview of animal conservation in today's world. And we both did it, and you get a certification at the end as well.
Yeah, and it's so cool. It's just like each section will have like a 6 minute video and you watch it, and then after you answer some questions or do a little quiz or something like that, and then it's like another video, and it's really cool because it's like small clips and it's not like, like a 40-minute video where you're just like, how will I remember that?
Yeah, it's a pretty good e-learning course actually. So, Jackie, if you're listening to this, thank you very much for the tip. So this is all great, but if you don't want to be looking into a book or a tablet, you can actually look up, because South Africa, especially in where we are, has an incredible sky. Like the sunsets here and the stars it's amazing. Like there is not much light pollution in the evening, so like you see the Milky Way and everything.
Yeah, it's really beautiful here.
Yeah. So yeah, you can make some friends, going around, having some romantic time, stuff like that.
There's obviously the opportunity to do lots of socializing here. There's lots of really cool people. They're down to earth. I really enjoy just like talking to people, getting to know them. We also have like a campfire, and each night it's like lit and people play music and have a drink and stuff like that if they want, and it's super cool. Um, and yeah, and there's lots of like board games and card games, and some nights like we'll play some games, and it's just really fun.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah. Also, sometimes Dave takes us out to a local bar called Maxine's, or there's this other one on the rocks. And every time we've had the opportunity, we go because it's just really nice
Yeah.
to like get out of the foundation and like see other people, like have a dance, and it's really cool.
So talking parties, there is also some like official celebrations, you could call it, like birthdays and like whatnot. The chef makes um amazing cakes, and we
Yeah,
are
there's
also
always like a
excited.
birthday cake or something, but recently he made waffles and it was
Oh yeah, it
amazing.
was
And
so good.
yeah, I had like chocolate sauce, blueberries, like I had some nuts and bananas, and it was really tasty.
Yeah, and
I'm
also
very happy when it's people's birthdays here.
yeah, and if people are leaving or have birthdays, you could have some like celebrations like disco night we had here, or we'll be also having a Halloween night at the end of this week. So it's very
Yeah,
cool.
and we recently for the disco night we like cleared some of the space in the games room, and then we like hung up like a light, and then one of the guys here, Ed, like looked up on YouTube like disco lights, so then he used his laptop just to like have
Just the
disco
laptop
lights.
screen was
Yeah,
flashing colors basically.
and it was so fun though, like
Yeah.
it was just so
It was
cool.
a low budget party, yeah, but we enjoyed it. Yeah, there is also this thing like the staff members need to do this activity evenings, so we've experienced a few of them.
Yeah, I think it's once a week that it happens.
I'm not sure the time here blends. It's like a weird thing, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. So these staff activities, like they make up different things, each of them. So what we've experienced here was like this obstacle course. So we had like two teams, and what was it, like
Oh yeah.
pirates and superheroes or
Yeah,
something?
and then you were blindfolded
Oh
and you
yeah.
had someone like telling you like what to do, and it was really
It
cool.
was a lot of fun. And then one night we had this pottery night.
Oh
So
yeah.
we got this clay and we had to model something out.
Oh yeah, what did you make?
Oh my god, I was like spending so much time with this. I made one of the stones from the Fifth Element. It was the Earth one, yeah, and everyone was just looking at me like everyone was making like beautiful elephants or like some, like a bowl
Yeah.
and things like this, and I was making this geometric weird shape thing. Yeah, it was just, oh my god.
Mhm. I made like a flower. It was meant to be like a jewelry dish, but it didn't really work. Like it still
It was nice.
survived, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, our friend Sab made this creature, remember? And he
Oh,
like
what
initially really
the
liked it, and then he like rejected
Yeah,
it.
it was like a penguin. It was like this massive like penguin head, and he was like, "Oh, it's so cute." And then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna like add a body onto it." And he's like, "Honestly, like just in love with it. Like I can't believe like how much I adore this like little thing." And the next day, I was like, "Oh, Sebastian, like your thing like held up pretty well." I was like, "Oh, I fucking hate it. It's disgusting. It's so creepy now." And I was
Yeah, it was quite funny. Another night, what we did was charades. It was actually Will's thing,
Oh,
and
it was so
oh
funny.
my god, yeah.
So funny. Like at the beginning, I was like, I don't want to do it because like you were teamed up into pairs,
Hmm.
and then you would pick like a piece of paper out of a hat with a scenario on it, and you had to like
Well,
role
we
play it.
each had to write our story, and then other people were
Oh.
basically role playing it. It was hilarious. And coincidence, me and Laurie picked each other's
Oh
one.
my god, it was so funny. Yeah, I couldn't stop
Yeah,
laughing.
it was so good.
Yeah.
So
And
and
oh, and every time you every time you're like if your team won, you got either a coffee muff cupcake
yeah.
or you got a salted caramel donut that Will had made.
Oh
So like
yes.
everyone was going crazy like
Yeah,
trying to
very
win.
competitive. Like, yeah, it's so loud. And one time when we were in here, they also did some painting, so we saw the
Oh, it was
results.
so cool. It was like watercoloring,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it? Yeah, it
Hmm.
was really nice. The foundation, they also have family meals. I think it's either once every 2 weeks or once a month. I honestly can't really remember. But it's Will or whoever makes like a nice meal for everyone, and we all get together at the same time. So usually it's kind of like a buffet style dinner. You just go
Hmm.
get it whenever you're hungry, whenever you want. But on family night, it's like you're told a time, like, no, we're all getting together at like 6 p.m. We'll usually cook something amazing. Like, what was it? We had like a roast dinner kind of last time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We had like a sausage and mashed potatoes, and it was
Yeah, and
really
like
nice.
gravy, and it
Yeah,
was really nice. So yeah, so then we all sit down together and we all like, chat and just have fun and
just have a
um
dinner together.
yeah, and
Yeah,
there was dessert this time as well. Oh, it was so good. Like honestly, it was so good.
yeah.
And during your day off or your half day, you can also do things like on a Tuesday and a Friday, Dave goes into town to get the grocery shop. So if any volunteers want to go into town on those days, like he'll take you in and take you back. So it's really cool. So there's like shopping malls and there's like food courts and
And you see Zanin, which is the
yeah.
nearby town.
And like, if you just want to go in and get some tea or some snacks or whatever, it's it's a good opportunity.
Hmm.
Also, there's the lodge with the Earth Spa nearby, and it's got like a pool and a spa, and it does some vegan food. Like it'll have like a salad, or you can get the pizza without cheese, and it's just really cool and nice to like hang out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and on the weekends, like each volunteer, like everyone gets like half a day, and usually they do these trips on the weekends. If enough people want to go, they'll go. So we've been to only one of those, but we know of the few. So we've been to Debengani waterfall, which was like, well, like
It was
half an
so
hour
pretty,
in a
yeah.
car. Yeah,
Really pretty.
it was really nice in the forest. It was really cool. Like, remember those people like taking pictures with us and stuff?
Oh yeah, so some like local South Africans were
Yeah,
just like, "Oh, can we get a picture with you? Like, you guys are cool and stuff."
yeah,
Like they didn't even know us, but yeah, it was really cool. And at the place as well, there is like barbecue stations like everywhere.
everywhere.
So like you can just rock up with your
It was
friends or
quite different
family,
from.
yeah, and like cook food there, and it was quite cool.
And even though the temperature of the air could be like really hot. The water is freezing, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Really, really cold. Like we went in, but it was like
it
we
was
were
like a
nutters
it
doing
was
it.
like a Wim Hof challenge, yeah.
Yeah.
And a few other weekend trips we know about, but we didn't attend. Was like they went to a distillery. They also went to, you can go to a river,
Yeah.
and also there was a hiking opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So each time it's like I think a staff member whatever staff member's taking you gets to like organize the trip.
Yeah.
So they kind of just choose what they want to do, and
Mm-hmm.
then you would just raise your hand in the meeting if you're interested in going to it.
Mm-hmm. What about this fair you went to?
Oh yeah, so the VMF went to like a local fair and they were promoting the VMF in veganism, and I was like asked if I just wanted to go along and help, and it was really cool. I can't remember where it was, but it's like in one of the local like towns. It's really pretty and it was just super cool. And like at the fair there was like loads of clothing and like just heaps of different stalls. Like, you know, there was like a stall selling knives, there was a stall selling blueberries. There was like lots of food courts and it was really cool. And also like one of the weekend trips was like offering if anyone wanted to go there. So
Okay, yeah.
it was
And
super
you,
cool.
Will was there cooking and
Oh,
like
the
offering
food.
the vegan
Yeah,
food.
the food was
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, we had like orange and vanilla muffins or something like that. And then we had brownies, and then we had like two savory dishes, which was like Satan skewers, and we also had like a wrap that had like seitan and loads of vegetables and sauces. And honestly, all I did was eat there. It was so good.
As a last point, there is also, if you're staying longer than a month, for each week you get a one touring day. So you can save them up. So, for example, we did that and then went on the bigger trips, which leads us to the big South Africa trips we've done. It's only two, but they were amazing. So the first one we've done was the Blight River Canyon trip, which was a 2 day trip with our friend Nico here, and it was 620 kilometers on our meter in the car. So
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. So our accommodation wasn't actually inside the canyon. We stayed outside, and it was in this town. I we don't really know how to pronounce it. It's probably Houtspruit. And it was a really cool small town. It had like a health shop nearby our house, which
Yeah, it was
Laurie was
like
freaking out about.
just up the road. We literally drove out of the house, went up the street, and was away to like go on our adventure. And there was this massive like sign being like health shop. And we were like, what? So we then go in, and I was like, oh my God, this is
It
amazing.
was all
Like,
vegan.
yeah, like, and then I said to the person, like, oh, you know, do you have any like vegan food? And she's like, this is 100% vegan. I was like, oh my God.
They had sausage rolls as well and
Yeah,
a soup.
they had
Yeah.
like this hot section of food and it had sausage rolls, pies, soup and everything like that. And like in the freezer they had ice creams and honestly everything, and I was just like, we were all super happy.
Laurie was in heaven.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the accommodation actually, because remember when we arrived, there was like this woman waiting for us, and she was like presenting us the house, yeah.
Oh
And
my
it was
God.
so
It was
weird.
so creepy because we arrived, right? And she was like, oh, like, she was lovely, but she was like, you know, come into the house. And we did. And she was like, this is the living room, take a seat. And we were like,
We took a seat,
okay.
and then she said,
So, like,
"Oh, I should probably show you the kitchen." So we stood up again and like went to
yeah.
the kitchen.
It was a shame. She was probably like nervous, but it was
Yeah.
just,
But by the way, the house was like massive. It was like some Californian house with a pool.
it was so fucking cool. It was like a 3 bedroomed house.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
in the room, you had like your shower and your toilet and stuff, but there wasn't like a separator or a divider or anything. It was
Yeah.
like just in your room. So it was kind of like, I thought it was cool.
But we solved it. Nico had one room with us, we had another, and the third room served as a like communal toilet and stuff.
And then on from each room there was like you could access the patio and it had a table and chairs. There was a pool. It was so cool.
It was really cool, yeah. But enough about the house. Well, let's get to our sites in the canyon. But first of all, like getting into the canyon was so cool because you're like seeing like the side of the canyon and like going through the mountains like later on. It's absolutely stunning, right?
Yeah, it's like it just felt really unreal. Like
Yeah, it was so cool. And you know, the obviously you're going to different altitudes, so it's like just the nature was changing so much.
yeah, like it changed so rapidly and yeah.
Yeah, so the first stop, Laurie, what did we do?
We went to this place called The Shoe. Our friend Meg here recommended it, and apparently it's like kind of like this like arte place, and we were like, and it's shaped like a shoe. So we're like, okay, so we go there, and it was so creepy. So we arrived, and it was like this woman behind the desk, and it was like this like gift shop, but it was all in darkness with like maybe like fairy lights like
And
randomly
it had
popped.
all these like religious.
Yeah. It was like 100% religious, and she was like, and it was like, you only paid something like 5 rand or something to go into the shoe, and it was just so weird. So we then went into the shoe, and it was like had this creepy vibe, and it honestly felt like a horror scene there. You were like just waiting for something creepy to happen.
So it was inside. Like there was like bones.
Yeah, in like wood sculptures, and they were all like religious related, and
Yeah, like Christianity. It was all just like Jesus, and like then there was like a naked woman statue as well,
yeah.
and bones,
Mm-hmm.
like real human bones. I held a human thigh bone.
Oh my God.
It was
Yeah, it was
so,
so
yeah,
creepy.
like the weirdest place you can basically imagine. Yeah, and we got a map there, which was quite handy.
And it also had like an old bed, and like basically how that it was kind of like how a house was set up, but like way back in the day. So it had like the bed and like the desk and everything in one room, and there was also like a fire chamber.
It had
Um
also like these tools, like a old like comb and.
a tool. It's a bit dramatic.
Okay, so accessories, a comb, like toothbrush, whatever. Yeah, it was like heaps of creepy shit
Yeah, there
everywhere.
was heaps of weird stuff.
Okay. Ah, okay. The next thing was actually pretty cool. We stopped to this like viewpoint place called Three Rondavels.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It was amazing, right?
Yeah.
We actually got like there for free. Remember?
Yeah, like it's weird. There's like a pay booth in it's like maybe 20-30 rand or whatever, like per site
Mm-hmm.
station. And yeah, and we turned up there, and we were like, oh, how much is it gonna be? It was something like 55 rand. It was quite expensive. And the woman just told us to go through. So I
She
don't
just
know.
saw Nico and probably liked him
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
because Nico, he kind of looks like
Like an Indian Jesus Christ.
yeah. Yeah.
But he's French. So yeah, sorry Nico. But yeah, he's got a beard and long hair. He's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, basically we were like, why did we get him for free? And I was thinking, oh, maybe it's because the weather wasn't like 100%. They just like let tourists in for free. But yeah, who knows?
So yeah, we get there, and you know that day, it was the first day. It was actually not sunny at all. It was quite clouded. So we got there, but the whole canyon scenery was so beautiful. Anyway, like these three roundabouts, it's like these three like mountain
Yeah, it's kind of like
bits.
rocky mountains,
Yeah,
I would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you see the river and like
Like the
it's
canyon, and it's like a vibrant blue. Like it was like
hmm,
bluey green. It was such a beautiful color.
yeah, it's
And
quite nice.
yeah, it was just stunning. Like it was so nice.
What was the next viewpoint then?
Yeah, after that we went to God's Window, and it was more like a viewpoint of like valleys and forests, and that's what, again, what's so amazing about like the Blade River Canyon. Like it just changes in scenery
Hmm.
like so rapidly.
Yeah, there was this. What was it called? The rainforest they
Oh
called it,
yeah,
right?
there was like, so you climbed further up, and it was then there was like a rainforest that you went through, and it was so cool. It was really nice, and yeah, it was ace.
And the next day, we got absolutely stunning weather, and we went to see the Berlin Falls, which was my favorite place ever. Like, so beautiful. It was, I don't even know how to describe it. It was just this, like, line of trees at the top, and, like, this waterfall, and a massive canyon as well. Like, this view of
Yeah.
it was just
It
stunning.
was really, really, really beautiful, yeah.
The way it was laid out, it was just stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a there
Really
was
picturesque.
there was a point where you could basically go. It was like there was a path you could go straight to the waterfall, but it said like it's like a restricted area.
Yeah.
So
And
Laurie
I
was freaking out. She
like
didn't want to go.
yeah, like I didn't want to go, but there was this like clearly like worn down path
Yeah,
that people
everyone
kept
went
using.
there.
Yeah, like heaps of people, like, like 3 out of 5 people kept going down it. But I was like, but the sign says like you can't. So I was like, I'm gonna wait here and you go.
So yeah, Nico and I went, and it was so beautiful. Like seriously, I love that place.
Yeah, and we also went to Burke's potholes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and holy shit, it was so cool. So this one was like all really rocky, but it was like rocky, like kind of like little canyons filled with
Yeah.
water,
Star
right?
Trek original series type of shit.
Yeah, it was so cool. And then it had like little potholes and like rivers, and it was so cool. And there was also like vervets and baboons and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
hanging around there, so it was like really cool to see them. But it was like so cool. So like again, that's why I was so amazed with all the different views. So like there was the potholes, totally rocky, and then there was like the God's Window where it's just like valleys and like vast forests and
Mm.
rivers, and then there was the Three Rondevilles, which is like a massive canyon, which is kind of the mix of three. It's like trees, rocks, and water.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. And now let's weave this into our big trip, which was a 5-day trip with Prim and Nicholas. Yeah, it was 1,600 kilometers trip all around, like driving, and it was the Kruger, okay, Kruger National Park. But first of all, getting there, oh my god, yeah, we were like maybe 20 minutes in our drive, and we got stopped by a traffic cop. Yeah, and apparently we were speeding, which I'm not sure. And they took Prim, and they were basically just like the whole strategy was just like
Yeah, so like they stopped other people and they would like serve the other people before Prim. So even though Prim was in the middle of getting served, if they pulled over like somebody else, they would just serve them and that person would be away before she was even finished.
they were like intimidating her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they like wouldn't give her license back, and we eventually found out that they were like, "Oh, we need to like write you a ticket, but we don't have any receipts left, so we're gonna have to take you back to our office, which is like a long way away." And she was like, "Oh no, is there anything else I can do?" And they were like, "Well, you know, you can pay the fine, but we won't be able to give you a receipt."
so do you understand what you're doing? You're basically paying for our lunch. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
she
she was,
bribed them.
yeah, she was like, "Well, how much?" And they were like, 200. She was like, "Yeah, that's fine, like no problem." Yeah.
And she was just so chill the whole time. Like she's usually like always so chill, and we thought, oh my god, she's gonna be freaking out
Yeah,
and
because
like.
after 20 minutes, I was like, I'm going to go out and see what's going on. Like, there's no need for them to still have our license and all this stuff. Yeah, but
But
yeah,
yeah,
she came back and she was fine. And then, yeah, after that, we didn't speed at all.
that was our first experience. Quite cool. So then we drove through the Blight River Canyon again. Actually, just stopped at a different viewpoint for the three rondavels, and got to our accommodation, which was inside this place called Marloth Park. Laurie, describe to people what was our accommodation like.
Yeah, so basically it's just this three-bedroomed house and it's like in the bush in the like in the middle of this park, and it was just like a really nice home. And the most amazing thing about it was though is that you could buy like feed, like grass feed and like pellets for the local animals, and you would just like put it on your patio and stuff like that, and they would like come right up to you. Like some of them would eat out of your hands, and it
Okay, local animals like zebras. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Zebras. There was like bushbuck. There was
like these deer things were
yeah. There
coming
was like
from
yeah. There was
everywhere.
like four different types of deer. Right, Nicholas.
Kudos and whatever they were called. Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah, and there
And
was
bush
yeah, there
babies.
was bush babies. There was like tiny bush babies, and there was like large bush babies, and honestly, like it was just
Nicholas
amazing.
would say, "No, they are not bush babies. They were like called like long-tailed bush babies,
Yeah.
right? The big ones." Yeah,
Anyway, there
basically,
was like
Nicholas and her kept arguing about almost everything, which was really funny. Yeah,
no, like imagine like heaps of wild animals and they eat straight out of your hands. That's like basically the experience we had. It was so cool.
it was amazing. So on our first day in Kruger, actually, we had to drive from like the park where we were staying, and then basically get into Kruger and need to pay an entrance fee, which is actually quite expensive, but it's worth it.
I think it's like £17 a day.
Yeah. Um. So on our first day, the weather was absolutely stunning. Yeah, like it was really nice. We saw heaps of animals, but I need to tell you this. Yeah, iPhone pictures don't hold up to this. It was just like you need a proper camera and
Yeah,
binoculars.
yeah.
And guess what? I got binoculars, yeah, because we were like there was
For
this
our yeah, for our anniversary, he
yeah,
got them.
because there was this cafe and I kept seeing them, and there's this basically brand that's supported by National Geographic, so it says, you know, all the proceeds go like towards like animal conservation and like research and things. So yeah, we got them. And what did you get for the anniversary, Laurie?
I got a monkey named after me.
Yeah,
So
Lorianne.
one of the wild monkeys that live on the foundation, she's a bandit. Yeah, and she's got like a scar on her back, and she's still like really young and chicky, and she's super cute. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
she's badass. Okay,
yeah, and she's named Laurie.
booyah.
So we on our second day we went to Kruger again, and the weather wasn't as nice, but it was still super cool. And we actually need to tell you what happens in Kruger.
Yeah.
So when you arrive, it's just like a massive national park, and you're going around in your car trying to spot animals. So you know there's basically everything in South Africa that lives there, and yeah, it's like super fun. And you're not allowed out your car at all unless you're like at a point where it's like, you know, a food stop and like a toilet stop and that. But other than that, you're never allowed outside your car.
Yeah, so you drive about on these paths and roads very slow, and you just try to spot the animals. And usually, like other cars, you see like like they stop, they're parked, and just like try to see something. So you would
Yeah.
join them and like yeah, try to take photos and stuff like that. It was really cool. What animals did we see though? Like overall?
Yeah, so we saw lions. We saw a cheetah. We actually saw a cheetah eating its prey up in a tree.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
and then the next day when we came back, we saw the same tree, and there was no meat left
It
on
was
the
just a
skeleton.
skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah, that was hanging in the tree. And we also saw like rhinos. We saw a family of rhinos. We saw buffaloes, hyenas, there was warthogs, there was like every type of deer, there was vultures, there was eagles, there was everything. Like we saw everything except, I don't know, what did we not see?
Leopard maybe.
No, we saw the leopard. Oh, it was a cheetah we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
see.
yeah.
We saw a leopard though.
Okay. So one day we also spent just in our accommodation. There was a pool, so we, you know, hanged about in a pool. We were feeding the animals during the day. You know, it was
Was
amazing.
sunbathing.
Sunbathing, and in the evening we played this really cool Rick and Morty card game, which was a
Yeah.
lot of fun, and watched some stand-up comedy shows and stuff like that. But the main thing on the way back as well, we went to the Jane Goodall Institute in South Africa,
So cool,
the
guys.
Chimp Eden, yeah. So we saw the chimps. It was like a
Like
sanctuary,
I've
like this one, but
Yeah, like I've never seen a chimp before, and it's crazy. Like some of the chimps like groomed their arms a lot, so you could see like just their muscles, and it was like a henched human arm. Like it was mental, was it?
yeah, they looked so human-like. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So the guy on the tour was just explaining like the relationships they have, you know, the like different individual stories of the chimps.
Yeah, like their background story,
It was
like
really
why they're
educational
there.
and cool. Yeah.
Yeah, in the like enclosures and just the grounds and stuff, like gorgeous. Like it was so nice, and they had 3 enclosures, but we only got to see 2 because they said like the third enclosure, like the chimps are still quite traumatized, and they just don't like humans, so they don't like stress them out by taking us there to see them. And on our way back, we went to one more stop. So we went to a picnic spot, and where was it? It was like this, like
I don't.
abandoned, like campsite river spot or something.
Yeah,
And
it's like the Friday the 13th
yeah,
kind
but
of thing.
it was so cool. Like you went over this bridge, and then there was like all these picnic tables, and there was obviously like this building where toilets used to be, but there was like tape all over it. Kind of like there was like a crime scene that went down or something. Or
Yeah, no one was there, so we
yeah,
had a picnic there.
yeah, and it was so cool. And then after we went to these caves, like this, what is it called? This,
Sudvala Caves.
and it was so cool,
It blew our minds.
like amazing. Like it was so worth the money. It didn't cost anything at all.
Yeah, and we got like a 45-minute tour.
It was so cool, and like you could even like climb down into the caves a bit, and
Yeah, our tour guide was like amazing. He
yeah.
is just explaining everything and like showing us. Actually, the caves, they're quite vast, and people used to live there.
Oh yeah,
It was just like,
it
whoa.
kind of looked like that spaceship from was it Stargate Universe?
Really?
Yeah.
You thought so?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. But yeah, so we had so much fun. And in summary, South Africa is an incredible place, and we highly recommend to visit it and to see the nature.
Yeah.
So our first special thanks and shout out goes to our amazing friend Vlad, who is our first patron, guys.
Woo!
Yeah, my man. So yeah, thanks a lot, man, and for supporting us. It means a lot.
And our second special thanks and shout out goes to Nico, Prim, and Nicholas for making our trips away unforgettable.
Thanks, guys. And if you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram by searching Laurie and Jiri Go Wild. We'll be releasing our pictures and updates about our travels there. If you have any questions, suggestions, or would just like to say hi, you can personal message us through our Facebook page or by email at ljgowild@gmail.com.
So this is it, guys. Have a lovely day, wherever and whenever you are. Stay inspired, happy, and wild. Much love, guys. Bye.
Bye.